Tired of your backside being cold? Well, I'll give you my review of Ryobi's new heated cushion. Hey, Nick from Old Fashioned Nights, and today I'm going to do a review of this Ryobi heated cushion. So like most things I seem to buy nowadays, I didn't really need a heated cushion, but I've been kind of intrigued by Ryobi's new USB lithium tools. I have this Ryobi cutter and really love the thing, so I thought I'd give another one of their lithium products a shot. And with my newly completed Outdoor Girl Zeebo, I thought it'd be nice to have something that keep my backside warm with these upcoming Wisconsin cooler months. I'm also kind of curious how this would perform in my car as like a cheap heated seat option. I drive a 2013 Nissan Rogue, don't have heated seats. Really the only premium option I have in that car are the turn signals. So I'm kind of curious to see how that would work in there. So let's get this bad boy in a box, do some testing and see how it works. We got our heated cushion, so let's get unboxing and see what's in this. Alright. So the first thing we notice is the box actually has an opening here, so you can actually feel the texture of the cushion itself. We see it calls out, heats up to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. It's got 3 settings, low, medium, high. Runtime up to 5 hours. I think that's on a low setting. The high setting, it claims 2 hours, which we'll test that and see how well that is. Comes with a couple batteries and a charger. So let's go ahead and open it up. Alright, here we go. We have our charger right here. That to the side. We have our USB charging cable. We have both our 2 amp hour lithium batteries. Our Ryobi manual, registering documentation, all that stuff that's not that important. And here we go, we have our cushion. It's a cushion. Kind of firm. I'm not sitting on it, but it seems pretty firm. It's got the little pocket right here with the zipper. I believe that's where the batteries go. So let's open that all the way up. Yep, there's the cord, the USB cord, looks like USB-C. And that, I believe, will plug into our battery port. I guess it's not technically a charger, it's a 2 power port supply. It's a power supply. That's where your batteries go. Put the batteries in there. Looks like you hook it in, and then you got a heated cushion. So yeah, that's the unboxing. We got our power supply, 2 batteries, USB cable, some instruction parts, or instruction booklets, and we have our cushion. So let's go ahead and turn this on, see how it works. It took me a hot minute to figure out how this works, but I think I got it. So what you're gonna do is you have your power pack here. You're gonna go ahead and it says you only need 1 battery, but we're going to go ahead and put 2 in there. And it's keyed, so you put it in the one way, put the 1 battery in, put the 2nd battery in, close that up, snap it closed. And we're going to go ahead and plug our power pack into the USB plug on the cushion itself. We'll throw that power pack into the bag. Now, what took me a minute to find out is there is a power button right here. It's actually kind of obvious now that I say it, but how you're going to turn it on is you're going to hold it until it starts flashing. That's coming through, and then you're going to hit it. Red is hot, orange is medium, and white is low. Let's see if that comes through here. We're on low, high, medium, back to low. So let's go ahead and put that on high, and we'll see if I can start feeling the warmth. Yeah, so it's getting warm. All right, we got it working. So I'm kind of curious to see how its operation really is. So I'm gonna do a string of tests. I'm gonna basically put it outside, put it on the highest setting, and see if it will run the 2 hours that it claims it's gonna run. So let's go ahead and get that testing done. The first test I'm gonna do is test its claim on its operation of 2 hours on its high heat setting. So I'm gonna go ahead, leave it outside on high, and see how long it lasts. I'm also going to go ahead and attach some temperature probes on the cushion to see what the surface temperature is during the tests. Ryobi states that the heating elements get up to 150 degrees, which is probably true directly at the heating elements. So we'll go ahead and take a look at what the temperature of the cushion gets when exposed to the ambient environment. I place the cushion outside under my grill gazebo with the temperature being a brisk 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Turn it on to its highest heat setting. Started my stopwatch. So after about 15 minutes, the inner probe read 61 degrees Fahrenheit with the outer probe reading 46. Now throughout the tests, the inner probe read higher than the outer probe, which you want the heat to reside at the inner portion of the cushion. So at 45 minutes, the inner probe was reading 67 degrees Fahrenheit. At an hour and 15, the inner probe was reading 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And then at the 2 hour mark, we were at 76 degrees Fahrenheit at the inner probe. So at this point, we hit Ryobi's claim of 2 hours operation at the highest heat setting. So I left it on to see how much longer it would last. At about the 2 hour and 15 minute mark, the cushion finally shut off with a final temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit at the inner probe. So one thing I wanted to note, at this point, the battery pack blinked red and instantly shut off. Now I thought it would have blinked longer to indicate a low battery, but it didn't. It just blinked once and off. Not a deal breaker, just something I wanted to note. Now for my second test, I decided to test it on a test dummy, myself, and see how it felt and give my reactions. So I went outside on a chilly November day and sat on it on its highest heat setting and to see just how it would keep my butt warm. I left on the temperature probes, making sure not to skewer my behind, to get an idea of the temperature between my body and the cushion, and sat on it for 30 minutes. We are a little over 5 minutes in, and our probe is reading over 90 degrees on the probes, and I gotta say it's actually doing a pretty good job. My torso is freezing right now, but my butt's actually pretty warm. We are a little over 10 minutes in, and we're still going pretty good here. My butt's actually surprisingly still really hot. It's like keeping it perfectly warm. It's kind of weird because my torso's freezing, my legs are freezing. I'm not really bundled up for this weather right now, but my butt is like cooking, and not like in a bad way, but I'm actually kind of surprised by like how warm it's actually getting. We're about 12 minutes in, so I figured I'd talk about kind of how it feels. And it feels normal. It feels like you're just sitting on a normal cushion. I sat in stadium bleachers before with those little, seats that go over the bleachers themselves, and kind of seems on par with that. I'd imagine if you didn't have the heating element, you'd still feel warm, being elevated off, say, like a bleacher or something like that. But with the heating element, it just, it's icing on a cake. Doing nice and warm, keeping warm, still pleasantly surprised. My hands are actually kind of getting cold, so I'm actually going to stick it under the cushion there to warm up a little bit. Gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised on its performance. This little puppy kept my butt really warm. Once I turned it on, it took about a couple minutes before I could actually feel the heat, but once I did, it was nice and warm. The cushion itself is firm, it's very comfortable, and I never felt any of the internal parts of the cushion or the battery pack when sitting on it. There were a couple times that I almost felt like it was too warm on its highest setting, and I almost switched it to medium, but before I did, the temperature dropped to a more comfortable level. I'm not sure if there's some sort of feedback on the heating element where it gets too hot, shuts off, and then when it gets cool again, it turns back on. I just thought I should note it. Now for my final test, I mentioned that I was curious on how it would work as a heated seat option, so I went ahead, placed it in my car, turned it on, and took a drive. Okay, I got the heated cushion in my car. It's going well, it's keeping me warm right now. The one downside that I noticed almost immediately is I sit a lot higher with this cushion than I normally do. I ended up dropping my car seat down to its lowest setting, and even now I still kind of feel like I'm sitting way too high. So I'm gonna go for a little drive, kind of see how it is, how it feels, and see if this is kind of a reasonable option for a heated seat. After my Sunday morning drive, the cushion kept me warm, which I knew it would, but my biggest thing was I just sat way too high for my liking. The dimensions on a cushion are 16.5 by 15, but the depth is 3.5 inches. Throughout my drive, I just kept on feeling as if I was sitting on a booster seat and almost felt like I would bump the headliner at any moment in my car. For reference, I'm only 5'9". I'm not sure if I would use it every day as a cheap heated seat option in my car, but would probably put up with it if it was one of those polar vortex days, when any sort of heat could help. So how much did I pay for this, and would I buy it again? At the time of this video, I paid $70 for everything in the box. That's the cushion, the battery pack, and the 2 batteries. For price comparison to some of Ryobi's other products, that's the same price as one of their 18-volt jigsaws with no battery, or it's $10 more than one of their starter drill kits. Now would I buy it again? Yes. So I mentioned I was pleasantly surprised by its performance and its battery life. It got surprisingly warm and did what it said it was going to do, keep my butt warm, and it was really comfortable to sit on. Now, if I was going to Lambeau Field to sit on their bleachers and watch the Packers play in December, I would probably grab a couple more batteries to last a full 3-hour plus football game if you wanted to run it at its highest heat setting for the full game. I'll also say this. My wife, who usually just rolls her eyes when I buy things like this, usually followed by, "Did you really need this?" was impressed by it. So our son loves to play outside on his play set. So when he's outside, we stay outside too to keep an eye on him. And with it getting colder out now, we want to try to stay warm while he's running around. So with this cushion, we've been pulling up a chair, turning on the cushion, and keeping warm while he plays outside, which is actually really nice. I'm also looking forward to using it to keep warm in winter when he's playing out in the snow and I just need to sit down and relax. Now, would I want to buy it again if I only wanted to use it in my car as a heated seat option? No. It was just too bulky for me. I sat way too high for my liking, and there's probably better options available if you wanted a cheap heated seat option. So there you have it. I hope I presented enough data for you to make a decision on if you need a Ryobi heated cushion or not. Let me know in the comments on any other places you think a heated cushion would come in handy. And please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this review. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.